Hello dear student, I am Rohini Daun. I welcome to all of you. Today I deliver lecture on syllabus discussion of mobile application development using Android. Android is an operating system based on Linux with a Java programming interface. Android is currently developed by Google. Course structure according to university. This is subject of MSc Computer Application. There are 4 credits for this subject. Course code is CA-CCTP 7. Total marks for this subject are 100. Out of these, 30 marks for internal evaluation and 70 marks for external evaluation. For this course, you have knowledge of Java programming language, object-oriented concept and also familiar with network protocol stack. Course objective are to develop the mobile app, gain knowledge about different platforms and application development, to know programming using Android on iOS and Windows platform. There are 6 units in this course. Unit first, Android fundamentals. In this unit, we learn about introduction to Android programming, history of Android OS, overview and evaluation of Android. Next one is feature of Android programming. It is truly open, free development platform based on Linux and open source. Also provide built-in services. Android application architecture. There are 5 key layers in this architecture. Components of Android application like as a manifest file, r.java and resources, assets, reference to resources in XML files. Android Activity Service Lifecycle. The Android system controls lifecycle of your application. There are 5 states in lifecycle are starting, running, pause, stop and destroy. Unit second, Android UI design. User interface is nothing but the interface that works as a GUI between the Android user and the Android application. Basic UI designing. User interfaces can be designed using one of 2 methods. First one is procedural and declarative. Procedural simply means in a code and declarative design on the other hand does not involve any code. In Android, layout is used to define the user interface for an app or activity and it will hold the UI elements that will appear to the user. Android layout types. We have different types of layouts available in Android to implement user interface for Android application with different design based on our requirements. Next topic is intents. Intent is a messaging object through which we can request an action from any other. Then components. The view is a best class for all UI components in Android. Text view, edit text, button, image button, text box, radio button. These are some basic views enable you to display text information as well as perform some basic selection. Next one is the event handling. It is the mechanism that controls the event and decides what should happen if an event occurs. Events are used to collect data about a user's interaction with interactive components of application like button presses or screen touch, etc. Adapters. Adapter is a bridge between UI component and data source that helps us to fill data in UI component. Example of adapter, best adapter and array adapter. Last topic is a menu. Android menu is a user interface components used in many types of applications. There are 3 types of menu. First one is option menu, context menu, pop-up menu. Unit third, Android thread and notification. Thread running on UI thread. The UI thread is the main thread of execution for any application. If user wants background thread needs to do something that changes the UI, then the run on UI thread is used to do so. Next topic is a worker thread. Worker threads are background threads. They are the threads that are created separately. Next topic is handlers and runnable. A better solution to process the message delivered from the UI thread is handlers. The runnable object can also be processed using the handlers. Then runnable command is used to run the code in the other thread. Next topic is a asynchronous task. Async task is wrapper class provided by Android to perform all heavy duty tasks in the background and relieve main UI thread from this burden. Next one is the broadcast receivers. A broadcast receiver component in Android allows us to register for system or application events. All register receivers for an event are notified by the Android runtime once this event happens. Next one is services and notification. A service is an application component that can perform long-running operation in background. Next topic is Toast. Android Toast is one of the types of notifications. It is used to display information on the activity for the shorter period of time in form of pop-up. Last one is alarms. Alarms are managed through Alarms Manager. Unit 4. Advanced Android Programming. A content provider manages access to a central repository of data. Next topic is SQLite programming. SQLite is an open source relational database management system. Android provides structured data persistence through a combination of SQLite database and contents provider. Next topic is JSON parsing. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It is stand for JavaScript. It is alternative to XML when Android app needs to interchange data from server. Next one is the accessing phone service. Android includes built-in application for making phone calls. Android also provides us SMS Manager API or devices built-in SMS application to send SMS. Also, location-based services. Android provides map-based activities using Google Maps as a user interface element, allowing user to control display settings, alter the zoom level and move the centered location. Also enable to know device current location using GPS and Google based location technology. Next unit 5. PhoneGap programming. PhoneGap is also known as Apache Cordova. It is an open source hybrid mobile application development framework. PhoneGap is a reliable cross-platform and is compatible with different mobile applications. Then how PhoneGap works. PhoneGap allows us to build a native app the same way you build a website. Using PhoneGap means that a good web developer can create a mobile app without learning difficult new coding language. Next topic is the designing for the container. Web application running within a PhoneGap application leverage on an HTML5 application structure instead of a traditional server-based application. Then point 4. Writing and building PhoneGap application as per the following steps. First is installing the Cordova commands. Command line tool is distributed as an npm package. Second one is create the app. Step third, add platforms. Step 4, build the app. Then step 5, test the app. Step 6, add plugins. PhoneGap programming limitations. There are some limitations for PhoneGap programming. For example, data processing, background processing, access advanced native functionality, then complex business logic advanced graphics. Then PhoneGap plugins. Plugins provide access to device and platform functionality that is available to web-based apps. PhoneGap provides various APIs. The accelerometer API, it provides feedback for the device's motion across all 3 axes. Then next topic is querying device orientation. The accelerometer API allows a PhoneGap application to determine a device orientation in a 3-dimensional space using X, Y and Z coordinates. Next one is the watching a device orientation. A PhoneGap application can set up an accelerometer watch that automatically measures a accelerometer data at specific intervals. Then the PhoneGap Control API. It provides application with an interface that can be used to create, locate, edit, copy and delete context records from the device's native context application. Next unit, iOS fundamentals. iOS is mobile OS developed and distributed by Apple. iOS is Apple mobile version. The OS X operating system used in Apple computer. In this, we learn about history of iOS, iOS features, architecture, frameworks, then application lifecycle. Every iOS application has a 5 states in its lifecycle. Next topic is a Swift. Swift is a general purpose compiled programming language created for iOS, OS X, watchOS, tvOS and Linux development by Apple. Swift offers other advantages over Objective-C language, including ease of learning, safety, requires less code, is interactive among other things. Next topic is Xcode. Xcode is an application that developers use to build apps for Apple's various platforms such as iPhone, iPad, Macs, Apple TV and Apple Watch. Next topic is a startup. Then application templates. When developing application, there are loads of tools and techniques that can help you save time and make you more efficient. One such a tool is a template. Next one is the storyboards. Storyboards are introduced in iOS 5. So storyboards helps us create all the screens of an application and interconnect the screens under one interface. Main storyboard. Next one is debugging database. iOS debug database allows you to view databases and user default directly in your browser in a very simple way. Next one is the plist. Plist means property list file. Plist are used to store some data in structural way that can be used on later. And last one is the RESTful web service, Swift JSON parsing, and JSON is the most commonly used format to send and receive data from the web services. Thank you.